You're in the shower. You're driving to work. You're standing in line for coffee. And then it hits you. A memory from 12 years ago ambushes you out of nowhere. The time you confidently answered a question in class, but got it completely wrong. The time you tried to be cool at a party and said something so awkward the conversation just stopped. The time you called your new boss by your old boss's name. And your body reacts right now as if it's happening all over again. A full-body flinch. A sudden warmth in your face. You might even mutter, "Oh God," out loud to an empty car. Think about that for a second. You've probably faced actual danger in your life. A car that cut you off on the highway. A moment you slipped and almost fell down the stairs. A piece of bad news that genuinely threatened your future. But those memories don't usually hijack your nervous system on a random Tuesday. They don't make you physically recoil. But the memory of that one awkward thing you said in 2007, it has a physical power over you years, even decades later. It's just a thought. It can't hurt you. So why does your brain treat it like an existential threat? The mainstream answer, and honestly it's a pretty good one, comes from a field called social neuroscience. In 2003, a researcher at UCLA named Matthew Lieberman put people into an fMRI scanner, the kind of machine that lets you watch the brain in real time. He had them play a simple video game, where they tossed a virtual ball with two other players. Then, he programmed the other two players to suddenly stop throwing the ball to the participant. They were just left out. It's the digital equivalent of being picked last for the team. And when Lieberman looked at their brain scans, he saw something remarkable. The part of the brain that lit up, the part that was screaming with activity, was the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex. This is the exact same region that processes physical pain. Let that sink in. To your brain, the sting of being socially rejected feels exactly the same as slamming your finger in a car door. The same neural circuits are involved. Evolutionarily, this makes a terrifying amount of sense. For most of human history, being part of a group was the single most important factor for survival. A lone human on the savannah was food. Getting kicked out of the tribe was a death sentence. So, evolution gave us a built-in alarm system. Social pain. It's a biological warning sign designed to make us monitor our social behavior constantly, to make sure we don't do anything that gets us ostracized. That cringe you feel isn't a flaw. It's a feature. It's your ancient brain screaming, "Don't do that again, or you will die alone in the dark." It hurts. It's real. And your brain can't tell the difference between a broken heart and a broken leg. So, that explains the pain. It's a social survival mechanism. But it doesn't explain the replay. Why a decade later does it still ambush you when you're just trying to make coffee? Why is that one memory so vivid, so persistent, when thousands of other more important memories have faded into nothing? And here's where the answer gets much stranger. Because the memory isn't just replaying to punish you. Your brain is trying to solve a problem it can't let go of. Think of your brain as a simulation engine. Its primary job isn't just to react to the present. It's to constantly build models of the future to help you navigate it better. Every cringe-worthy memory you have is essentially a record of a failed simulation. It's a moment when your prediction of how a social interaction would go crashed spectacularly into reality. The joke you thought was funny? The comment you thought was insightful. The wave you thought was for you. Your brain expected one outcome and got a completely different one. And it hates an unsolved problem. When your mind wanders, a specific network in your brain called the default mode network takes over. This is the network that's active when you're daydreaming, thinking about the past or imagining the future. And neuroscientists have found that this is precisely where these cringy memories live, waiting to be reactivated. They pop up because the event represents a conflict between your sense of self and your social reality. It's a moment you weren't the person you thought you were. You thought you were smooth and you were awkward. You thought you were smart and you were wrong. You thought you were included and you were on the outside. This isn't just a memory of an event. It's a memory of an identity crisis, however small. And your brain's response is to run the simulation again. And again. And again. It's not trying to torture you. It's trying to learn. It's grabbing that memory, putting it on a loop, and desperately searching for a different outcome. What if I had said this instead? What if I hadn't said anything at all? What was the right move? It's a form of cognitive training, a desperate attempt to debug the social code so you don't make the same error in the future. The problem is, you can't change the past. So the simulation never finds a satisfying solution. It just runs forever? But here's the part that's truly unfair. Your brain doesn't do this for positive memories. Think about it. When was the last time you were just driving along and were suddenly struck by a vivid, full-body memory of that one time you said something really clever and everyone laughed? Or the time you gave someone a perfect compliment? It rarely happens. Psychologists call this the negativity bias. Your brain is like Velcro for bad experiences and Teflon for good ones. An encounter with a predator is a lesson you need to remember forever. An encounter with a delicious berry is nice, but not existentially critical. One mistake can kill you. One success just means you live to see the next potential mistake. Our brains are wired for survival, not happiness. And in a social world, the cringe is the sound of your survival instinct doing its job too well. But there's one last layer to this. Those memories are so powerful because they aren't just about what you did. They're about who you are. The most painful cringe moments are the ones that threaten your story of yourself. If you see yourself as intelligent, the memory of saying something foolish is torture. If you see yourself as kind, the memory of a thoughtless comment is a ghost that follows you. These aren't just memories. They are pieces of evidence your brain presents against your own identity. They are moments the mask slipped, and you worry everyone saw the fraud underneath. The flinch isn't just embarrassment. It's a flicker of existential terror. The terror of being seen as less than what you hope you are. So what do? The memory will probably never go away completely. It's too deeply encoded, a warning written in the permanent ink of social pain. But psychologists have found that the one thing that actually helps is self-compassion. Recognizing that the moment was the result of a fundamentally human attempt to connect, to participate, to be seen. You tried something and it didn't work. That's it. That's the whole story. Your brain is treating it like a fatal error, but it was just a failed experiment. Every human who has ever lived has a library of these moments in their head. The person you admire most, the one who seems so confident and put together, has a memory from their past that can make them physically wince in a quiet moment. It's not a sign that you are broken. It's a sign that you are a member of a species that is so profoundly, deeply social that the thought of disconnection feels like death itself. That sudden flinch in your car isn't a glitch. It isn't a punishment. It's a monument. It's a perfectly preserved fossil of a moment you dared to be human, a moment you tried to reach out from your own mind and connect with another. And the cringe is just the ghost of that attempt, a lesson your brain loves so much it refuses to let you forget it.